The consonants of modern English phonology, like short vowels, have been rather stable, though certain losses have occurred within the modern English period. Most consonant sounds of early modern English have survived into present-day English. However, there are still a few notable differences in pronunciation. And in the next video presentation, we're going to tackle some of the consonant phonology that may have disappeared in some English pronunciation and spelling. In this video, we were able to determine that there are modern English consonant that is spelled in some words but disappear when it was pronounced. In reverse, there are also English consonant that is clearly pronounced but disappear in the spelling. In the Old English and Middle English, the phoneme GH has its post-vocalic allophones such as the voiceless fricative sh and h, and h. The sh sound occurs next to front vowels which disappeared entirely in the GH phoneme. For example, the word bright, night, sigh, way. As we can see, the sh sound, which was represented by the GH phoneme, was disappeared entirely in the word given. The consonant P or B sound also went through a loss in consonant cluster. When B was in the final position after or the M letter, it was lost in pronunciation but not in spelling. For example, in the word climb, lamb, limb, numb, thumb, tongue, to which in the final sequence, the M sound or the MB letter, the B sound had disappeared in the pronunciation before the beginning of the modern English period. So the letter B or the B sound could be added after the final letter M or the sound. In addition to that, there are also intrusive consonants in early modern English wherein the intrusive B sound sometimes appeared after and before L, R, or sound. Take for example, the word bramble. In the Old English pronunciation, it was pronounced as bramble, bramble, which became in the early modern English pronunciation, it was pronounced as bramble, bramble. Or another example, the word nimble. In the Old English, it was pronounced as namel, namel, which became in the early modern English, it was pronounced as nimble, nimble. So as we can see, the B sound was pronounced intrusively right after the L sound and before the sound. There was a similar tendency to reduce the phoneme or the ND letter sound, where the D sound was disappeared in pronunciation or could be added after the sound. For example, the word lawn. The word lawn, which was pronounced as lawn, removing the D sound in the Middle English, but pronounced as lawn with D sound, appeared in the early modern English. Another example is the word sound and length, which was pronounced as sound and len in the Middle English, removing the D sound. But in the early modern English, it was pronounced as sound, length, with the D sound because of the non-etymological D sound, though in the latter word the crescent D occurred long before the modern English period. Furthermore, the consonant D sound went through a loss in cluster. In early modern English, the D sound changed to the, or the as International Phonetic Alphabet when it followed the major stress and preceded the R sound. Take for example, the word murder, murder. In the Old English, it was pronounced as murder, murder. But in the early modern English, it became murder, 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 as well as the word father. In the Old English, the word father and mother is pronounced as father, mother, which became in the early modern English pronunciation as father, father, mother, mother. Here you can see the difference between the changing of the this sound to the sound. Another consonant was the L sound or the letter L. Of the Middle English, preconsonantal al was lost after first becoming a vowel. Thus, Middle English al fell together as or ultimately becoming a half O sound. For example, the word talk, talk, walk, walk. Here you can see that the al phoneme or the al phoneme was disappeared and pronounced as the half O sound. Again, talk, walk. This is a loss after low-back vowels before certain consonants. In Middle English, the al phoneme also fell together as the combination of ae sound, the a sound before the letter f or f sound, and v or v sound. For example, halved, halved, salved, salved, wherein the al phoneme seems to be pronounced as the combination of ae sound or the a sound. Again, halved, salved. In the Middle English, the al phoneme fell also together as a sound before sound. For example, calm, calm, palm, palm, wherein the al phoneme sounds was pronounced as a sound, like the word calm, palm. The L letter of the L sound retained in the spelling of these words has led to spelling pronunciations, particularly when it occurs before sound. Many speakers now pronounce the L sound in words like calm, calm, and palm, palm, which was pronounced in labial. Also, it occurs before the T sound, like the word fold, fold, and volt, volt, wherein the L sound was appeared, and this was pronounced not before most dentals. A number of post-vocalic L's English spelling were added because the ultimate Latin sources of the words had an L sound. Ultimately, those added L's came to be pronounced from the new spellings. Example, the L in the spelling of falcon, falcon, was thus restored from the Latin etymon modern English facon, facon, from Old French, in which the vocalizations to a short U sound also occurred. Let's state it again. The word falcon was pronounced as
facon, facon, in which the al phoneme was replaced into a short u sound, the word facon.
In French loanwords, the H or the H sound, because it is in the spelling, has gradually come to be pronounced in all but few words. It was generally lacking in such words in early modern English, such as the word horse, horse, and humble, humble, wherein the H word or the H sound was being pronounced. But there are words where H sound remains silent for many American speakers but is pronounced by others and by British speakers generally, such as the word herb. The word herb was pronounced as herb in British speakers, but in some American speakers, they pronounce it as herb, herb. So here we can see that pronunciation still depends on the variety of English speakers. It depends on the rule of pronunciation.
In other words, such as awa, the H letter or H sound is silent in all varieties of English. Another example is the word er, and etc.
The final unstressed syllable was pronounced with preceding t, and s having the value t, s, or intervocalization z. For example, the word nature, nature, verdure, verdure, censor, censor, laser, laser, wherein, as you observe, the word your becomes the word your becomes Say it again. Nature, verdure, censor, laser. The initial consonant sequences, the GN consonant and KN consonant, had lost their first element by the early 17th century, such as the words nar, nar, not, not, no, no, where the consonant G or G sound was entirely disappeared. Also with the word naved, naved, need, need, knee, knee, where the consonant K or K sound is also entirely disappeared. So in the early modern English, the G and K sound seems to lost in initial position before the N sound.